We here. Boom. There you go.
What's up, man?
What's going on, baby?
Jase, what's up, man? I'm Tom from I Got Soul.
Yeah. Yo, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing the interview, man. Appreciate
No
it.
doubt. What's happening?
We're gonna talk a little bit about, the new music you guys just put out, the new single, and then talk about a bit about your solo music and then the group's history a bit.
I'm with you. Let's go,
All right,
man.
cool,
You
cool.
got you got the audio over there? You can play some shit?
No, I don't have the. I wasn't gonna play music. Just was gonna do
You
the
don't
interview.
play music? Okay.
And do
That's
me a
fine.
favor. Once the interview is done, when you end it, can you hit share? Because I want to download it so I can share it on our website and everywhere else.
For sure, for sure.
All right, cool, cool. So we'll start out by talking about the new single, Love on Me from Soul for Real. Kind of, we weren't expecting it, and then we heard it. It's a pretty dope single, man. Tell us about it.
I appreciate it. So for real, yeah, just put out a new single. Love on Me is just one of those heartfelt, one of those joints that come from the heart. And really, we wanted to put something out just, for this time to let, everybody know what time it is. It's time to love more than anything else.
Right. How did you guys get together to do the song, even with everything going on, or was it something you already had done?
No, that's something that we had going on through the times. It was actually just like right in the crest of when this whole COVID thing started hitting. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So were you guys thinking about, you had been working on new music as a group? Like what did you have planned when you were working on this song and other stuff?
Oh, a lot's planned. Like you see, if you do your little research, you'll see Andre got the Uptown movie coming out. We already had the Truth, true story of So for Real, in the works. You know what I mean? So like certain things like that could give you insight on what we got going on.
Okay. All right. And I know that you put out a mixtape. I believe it was around the end of 2018. If You Feel Like Me was the name of it. What can you tell us about that project and what went into making that one?
If You Feeling Like Me, man, was a big part of my push as far as like Jase for Real solo push, like really a place I was showing like, just that we still out here, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? And If You Feeling Like Me was really just like explaining like, the position of where we were from my standpoint. As far as like everything. Like I'm just really just pushing. It's a self-explanatory joint if you look it up. You know what I mean? If you feeling like me, if you listen to the subject matter, yeah.
Gotcha.
You see what's good.
So let's talk about the history a little bit, because one thing we love to do is get stories on the history behind the music, take the artist back, hear about their legacy and stuff like that, celebrate from that point of view. Take us back to the story, I guess, of Soul for Real and how you guys signed originally.
Oh man. That was Mount Vernon times. That was that was the 90s. That was how that happened. See what had happened was we had been like, you could say we had been doing, just going to labels and doing interviews and doing auditions as a group, independent, trying to get signed. And we just so happened to be at the Mount Vernon. They had the joint over there at the park over there at what's that park name? Is that punk name over there by in Mount Vernon? But anyway, yeah, Have and his brother was running it, and we was auditioning for it,
Mm.
and he was like, Hav's brother was running the thing for him, I guess, and he seen us and was like, yo, I'm gonna have to introduce y'all to my brother, and then we not knowing that it was Have,
Yeah.
um was introduced to him, and like it was history from there. Like, come to find out, you know what I mean? It was Have. It was like dumbfounded, like me was just like, oh my god, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like it was kind of magic from there, you know what I mean? Upon meeting him, we clicked so well, you know what I mean? I think we wrote a song for like or something that he was working on that same day, you know
Wow.
what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, so it was an experience, definitely an experience. He was definitely more of a brother than, you know what I mean,
Well,
anything else.
from the time that he kind of discovered you guys and signed you to the time when you put out your first, the debut album, Candy Rain, was there a lot of development he put into you, like artist development, or did that come shortly after? Like, how long was?
Yeah, he put in about a year of development into us,
Okay.
which worked. It did a lot. He did a lot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you remember about the debut album from Soul For Real? I was listening to it today. Many would consider it a classic album. What do you remember most about creating that album?
The studio, how dope it was. I remember just the people, how dope they were.
Hmm.
Shout out to Trackmaster, Tone Pope, Puff, just all the entities that went into creating that album.
Right.
You know what I mean? All of them. Yeah, I think just being among that level of you know, stuff like where we was at, I made it definitely like something to never forget. But yeah, I think just the effort and the what they put into it, you know what I mean, what we all put into it, I think was the most memorable part of it.
Right. And then coming back with the second album, For Life. What do you remember about trying to, work on that album? You had huge success with the first album, huge hit singles. What do you remember about coming back to make the second album and trying to match those heights that you had reached previously?
That was the second album was something more of like a learning experience.
Mm.
I think all of it was a learning experience, but like more so the second album because we got to really learn like what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of just had to step out the way. You know what I mean? But like, I really can't explain to you the ins and outs of that. It was a beautiful experience though. We had a lot of hits on that second album. He made sure we had that second album was fire.
Right. So. And then, of course, the third album, Heat, that was a different label situation, so it was a bit different going into that one. What do you remember about
Right.
creating that?
Say again?
The third album, Heat, the label situation, I believe you switched labels going into making that album. So what do you
Hmm.
remember about creating that one?
I remember we wanted to like slap the skin off of Chrome Dome's head because we wanted to create what we wanted to create.
Yeah.
It was like another situation that
Damn.
we wasn't like geared to go into, but it was what it was. We learned the whole independent stage. That's what the most important part of that album I think was. But sonically, I think it was a dope album. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something that we um definitely have a few, like we got a few hits on, like we could like revamp some shit on there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
So, so there was never a fourth album, obviously, from Soul for Real. What do you think? What caused you guys to separate and do solo projects after that, and not go into a
See,
fourth
it's
album?
not really a separate. It's not a separation at all.
Hmm.
I think just um, life happened. Like I think life happened. I think that that machine, behind, you know what I mean? Like the whole aspect of where the marketing promotion is coming from. It was the thing. So like that's nothing to talk about. We just do that on our own now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Can you talk about that a bit? Because you did a lot of different work, solo projects and stuff like that after the group's third album. Talk about some of the stuff you had put out over the years.
What up? Um, so so really anything you might have seen after a certain point is just really me. Um, you can look it up, you can Google it or whatever, and go just look up all of these projects we got that you don't know about. I think that certain people who are fans really know about what we got going on,
Hmm.
but like I don't think the majority of people who are following Soul for Real know about all the music that is there. And I just kept doing what I knew how to do, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, to keep things going for myself and hopefully to bring the unity back to the bros, you know what I'm saying, or what we have going on as Soul for Real and beyond, because we got a lot going on. But like and now it came to the point where it's like kind of just meshing all and congelling together, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Mm.
I mean, we got this new single. It's 2020. It's been what, 20 years since the last Soul for Real album. Will we get another album from Soul for Real at some point soon?
Absolutely. Actually, Soul for Real just put out a new single called Love on Me, which
Right.
is which is you know what we should all be doing right now in these times. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Word who's I definitely got to shout out everybody who's showing love right now to you and I on this interview.
100%.
Word,
And
because they waving, word, and it's big waves back. But yeah, man, just to answer your question, like, yeah, it's so much going on. Like, we can't really say it all. Like, it's kind of like you can't see it all with all that's going on. We have so many artists, and yeah, we got so many things. You know what I mean? That we have our hands in to come to life. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know what I mean?
I like this comment right here. Let them know how you're one of the last R&B singers from the 90s who's turning 40.
Say it again.
I saw a comment from one of your fans. Let them know how you're one of the last R&B singers from the 90s who's turning 40. Everyone else is over 40 already who's from the
Well,
90s.
well, that's the fact. Like it's up to us. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like that for a while now. And so all of my peoples who's telling me to let them know, why don't you let them know? Because I've been out here for a while now. I think they know. It's only like a certain few that don't know that we
Right.
out here like putting our energy into the new Chris, is like all of the whole new wave. Like we put our energy into all of that. I make my music for everybody. You know what I mean?
And then last question I want to ask you. What accomplishment are you most proud of to date with Soul for Real? What is it that you've accomplished that you're the most proud of, you could say?
I'm just most proud of just keeping it moving and like beyond Candy Rain having things for you to find out about. I think I'm most proud of that.
Dope, dope. And then that's all the questions I had for you, man. Anything you'd like to add before we end this interview?
I'd like to add that I appreciate you having me on your dope show. Like, I've seen the what you're doing out here, and in these times we need it, and
Appreciate it.
I really love that. And I love that you I think Soul for Real and me and my brothers would be the next thing that you have to do, because that would be a real dope, funny interview.
All right, man. I look forward to that. You know, once we get outside of this quarantine and everything that's going on, we'll be happy to do a real interview with you guys in person, on camera, you know. But for now, we just try to make the best of it.
For facts, you already know that's what it is. We out here.
And before we get out of here, do you mind recording a drop for the site?
Not at all. What's the drop?
Can you say something like, "This is Jase of Soul for Real, and you know I got soul"?
And you already know it's your boy Jase of Soul for Real. And tell him, you know I got soul.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Thank you again for doing the interview, man. You got our support, and we'll talk again soon.
That's much love. I appreciate every moment.
All right, man. And then don't forget to share the interview at the end.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.